investigation into the incident which took place in the Gidan Sama and Rumtua communities of Silame local government area of Sokoto State. A devastating incident occurred in the state when airstrikes hit 2 villages, claiming lives of 10 civilians and leaving many more injured. The locals reported that the fighter jet was targeting Lakurawa terrorists in the area, but in the process dropped explosives on some innocent people. The Nigerian Air Force spokesperson, Air Vice Marshal Olushola Akimboyewa, emphasized that the airstrikes were carried out based on credible intelligence from multiple sources and confirmatory aerial surveillance. However, he assures that reports of civilian casualties will be thoroughly investigated. Joining us in the studio for this conversation is convener, Campaign for Dignity and Governance, Razak Ulukoba. Good morning. Compliments of the season.
Good morning. Happy New Year in advance.
The same to you. Now, this incident, some would say, is similarly a reminder of what happened in Kaduna last year, when we lost about over 100 people in that airstrike that happened as a result of the errors, even though they said they explained what happened in detail. And some Nigerians are questioning if this effort being made, effort to address this matter of fighting insecurity is really achieving its purpose as a country if we're doing it well enough, because of the number of casualties that we are recording, and in the end we hear that it is not even the persons being targeted that are being killed, but some innocent Nigerians.
Well, thank you for having me once again. For the effort of the military, we have to commend them. They are doing a very marvelous job. For other things that will complement it, I won't say we are doing well in that regard. And let's focus on the military, since it's the subject matter today. The image of Nigerian military all over the world is appreciated, and we have to bear that in mind in the way we handle anything they do. Either they carry out exercise commendably or there's an error. The military report that came out shows clearly that we cannot apportion too much blame on them.
Why so?
Bearing in mind that the exercise of that nature is not an error-free process. All over the world, there's always casualty that is not intended in any war. This morning, I saw Israel trying to explain a bomb it dropped on certain area in Palestine that they thought it was an ammunition base for the people they are fighting, but it came out to be a carcass of that was abandoned by the people they are fighting. So, in the incident that happened, it was a secondary effect, according to the military. If a bomb lands in the compound of any civilian, as far as it's concerned, it was thrown there. It is the technical explanation of the military that will give us an insight into what has actually happened. It was the ammunition base and one of the command center of the Lakurawas. In fact, take time to read the report of the military, another report. Indigenous of the area admitted that it was true, and that was their base.
Of course.
That was an operation center. So I should know, if I live in that area, that eventually the military will be there one day. And in carrying out that exercise, it's going to spread to the neighborhoods.
So they should have moved?
They should have moved.
To where?
To where? No. Safety is important.
No, it's a question to where. What if they do not have any other
your
place
life
to go?
Your life is more important than anything. When there's a fire incident, you don't ask people that where you should go. And when you are interpreting something that has to do with life, let's put emotion aside. This is safety.
No, this is not emotion.
No, it's emotion.
It's a critical question.
Because when you ask someone that his life is house is on fire, there's no time to be asking whether his neighbor's house that is going to move.
At this point, their house was not yet on fire.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
That for military, they have done the needful. There are other factors that we may have to address. It's not the responsibility of the military to evacuate the people in that area. That's another department. So let's urge the military on with what they are doing. The result is coming out fine. Boko Haram has not been completely decimated, but we know that the effect of the military is taking a very heavy toll on them and other terrorist organizations too. And I add the military also telling the Eastern Security Network and the IPOB, lay down your arms. And that's a prelude to any military exercise, that truce will be offered. And I know very well that in another 1 or 2 weeks again, we'll start hearing the effect of the military there again. So for us, the North is becoming a bit safer until Lakuraria is ugly head. And if we are careless with it again, we will be having ISWAP, Boko Haram. These are 4th and the 5th most deadliest group in the world. The way Lakurawa has emerged again, it did not start where Boko Haram started. It didn't start where ISWAP started. No. It started, and he has learned from what Boko Haram has left behind. So they didn't start as a novice. They started big. So as Nigerians, that should be scary to us. And we don't have to remove our support for our institutions. Because it's what keeps them going. It's what you tell them that keep their heads well now and do more. So when they commit this kind of error, I didn't want to say anything until the report I read, that this is the report. And we tried to read some report and ask questions around that. Could a nation's military deliberately strike its own people? And that is no. The military, despite the fact that Nigeria political class has been playing politics with every institution, military still stands out. They didn't allow that to get to them. So I don't think the military has committed any error. What we should do and avert is a further escalation. I know the pocket of the federal government and the state government is drained in terms of relocation. Otherwise, they should have been located. But where will you locate, like the question we have asked? The entire North has become virtually a low-scale war region. So where do you locate them to? But for me, if I live in that axis, it's better. You see trucks of people moving into southwest, from east, from south, from the north. It's not because for economic reasons at times. It's for safety of their life, mostly. So I advise any Nigerian that are seeing this kind of development in this area, it needs to move. Don't wait for the government for such thing to happen. The planner of event, the Christmas event, no, not the event for generosity purpose that turned to something else. Government has a responsibility. The planner has a responsibility. But you that want to take part in the event also has a responsibility to determine whether this avenue is safe for me or not, or to leave, or to go out of the center where the event is going on. So before the government will come, you owe yourself your life, you owe yourself your safety before the government will come. The magnitude of ammunition that the military described that they found there, there's no how it won't affect the neighborhood. There's no, I'm not a military person, but from the things that has been going on in the world today, if you watch effect of wars all over the world,
because
you know.
You watch. These other people do not have access to watching these things, to know what
they should be telling me more. They should be telling me more about that, about this kind of incident.
They do not
they should be telling me more
to take. And so that is where the responsibility of government comes in.
My own is even theoretical.
Right.
But physically, there's no part of the North that is not witnessing this kind of event. In fact, Sokoto appears to be the last.
So where will people keep moving to?
That has joined. Veronica, I know you're asking government that question, and the government should answer that question, but I'm talking to Nigerians now.
No, you are the one here. So,
yeah, well,
you could suggest to government how they could handle these people.
Now, if you want to talk about other sector now, we should not be talking about the government now. We have said it over and over again that the federal government institutions, federal police, the army, have done what they are supposed to have done in terms of security of Nigeria. A new layer of security should have opened up. See, if you allow the locals to be part of the security arrangement, we won't be having this kind of effect. The state taking part, the local government taking part in it. See, any information you are getting from the locals, you are getting from locals as an informal sector. But if you look at the security committee in each state, the contribution by local government, they are mostly civilians, and they give you civilian perspective. But when you have an organized state institution that is security, like a police or whatever name you are going to call it, they are going to be trained and they give you expert opinion on the implication of what the army is coming. Army is army. They are not going there for party.
Right.
They are going for precision and accuracy. And if that precision has an effect, that means it's going to spill over to the state. The state will have done something about it. But the civilians that are involved in it will not offer military or technical advice. They will just offer information, they are there, and you go back. But if the state have their own, I don't know what language we will use again. We'll keep having this kind of thing.
State police.
Yes, if there's a state police, the state will determine whether the capacity of a state or the federal police is enough, or whether they need that kind of a situation where Air Force will come and do their work before the army will walk into it. So for us as a nation, we have to continue to point out and have the courage to admit where our error is. Our error is institutional. You have started the right thing by saying that where will the people go? So if they don't want to go anywhere, the state has to come in. So any area we have this kind of challenge today, it's not because the military are not doing their job. It's not because the people in the area have not also been patriotic by offering information that, see, these people are gathering here. But because our institutions has some defect, and this defect is what I pointed out to you. So I call on the federal government again, particularly Mr. President. He's doing his best. He's doing his best. But we know that it's going to come to this. He's going to be traumatized by demands from Nigeria that he needs to do more. And because you understand that...
Well, he said he's ready for it.
Yes, they always say that they are ready for it. I know he's also ready for it. But let me just tell you this. Every Nigerian president, it's difficult to tell him that it's not working. That's not doing the appropriate thing. Because there's no Nigerian president that can sleep for 5 hours. Sleep 1 a.m., wakes up 4 a.m., you tell that kind of president that it's not working. It's difficult for you to admit. But what work is he doing? The work other person in the past have done. And this is the result of what we are having. It is because those people understand that terrain. That's why Nigeria is not going away. The structure there today there's something wrong with it. And we will keep pointing it out again. So, and it's an infection. If this structure is not healthy, it's going to infect other structure. And the deficiency in our state structure is infecting the military institution. So we must not allow that to happen, because in the north now, go and find out, there are two institutions. The government institution and these informal sectors who have gone at their disposal. Any event you want to do, you must seek their permission. Why are we surrendering our state to them? If you want to farm, you take permission from the police. You take permission from the... If either in the east, in the south, in the north. And there's an incursion also in the southwest as well. So must the country be submitted to this element? That is going to be the picture in another 5, 10 years. And if you allow your country to become such an institution where United Nations is coming to negotiate between the government and they, just like the case you have in Pakistan, we have in Afghanistan, we have in Iraq today, it's not going to be fair for us. And that's why we have the courage to tell Mr. President that you are doing fine. But this structure is heavy for you. You have only 24 hours in a day to do your work. But the responsibility that is before you, 24 hours cannot accommodate. That's why we have to devolve those responsibilities to secure the life of 250 million Nigerians. Cannot be your responsibility only.
Well, state policing has all the states have said they are agreeing.
When will they start it? We lost 10 people now. We lost 100 people citizens last year. Must we continue like that?
So let's talk about how we can actually minimize these casualties. I mean, you said that the military tried its best.
Yeah.
The military coming out saying that they conducted intelligence assessments and all of that.
That's correct.
It doesn't necessarily mean we should actually give in or perhaps wait for something like this to happen. And you've also mentioned that perhaps it is an holistic effort. You have to work with the state government and all of that. And there is another concern of having to take these locals or take them out of that place. I mean, some of them, according to reports, have become more, or can identify some of these faces that we think are unknown, some of these bandits, some of these terrorists, because they also understand the terrain. But the springing up of this new group now, what will it mean for Nigeria? Are we expecting another 2017 era again?
Well, the regional effort is missing. Regional, ethnic, and religious effort is missing. When we say police...
Despite the budget we put on security every year?
Yes. It's going to be an exercise that will not have serious effect until we do the need to. There should be there's a missing religious effort. There's a missing ethnic and regional effort there. When we told the police that when you see organizations like this, it's not a military solution. It's an ideological matter. And any ideology in the world, you can't be violent about it. It will strengthen their faith in it. When Yusuf came on board, we said, no, they see something wrong in the Quran, the time upside down. Then if there's a state police, there will be a department that is going to inform the people and also activate other spiritualists who will educate the populace that this is not the way. Islam didn't say so. But the federal institution got it wrong because they don't have the local understanding of the state. If the state police had been there, they will give appropriate advice to the federal police that no, it's not about gun and bullet. It is about ideological matter. Now, that's one. Two is that the regional and ethnic issue that I said is missing is that why must not become the capital of poverty in Nigeria? It is an available ground for recruitment for these organizations. When there's an endemic poverty, violence will continue to rise. And you know, smaller crime become bigger crime. It is pickpockets. It is phone snatcher that become armed robbers. So in the north, it is these small people that commit smaller crimes that transmute into becoming actors behind Boko Haram, actors behind Iswa, actors in Lakurawas. They have their own ideological issues. But where are they getting recruitment for? Kill 10 people today, you see 50 people tomorrow. And that's why I say the northern leaders has a responsibility to all Nigerians to be able to take care of the region, of ensuring that this boys goes back to school, of ensuring that the allocation they collect for budget, for education, for healthcare sector, to build the economy must be used in that direction. We cannot have a country where a regional deficiency become a national issue again, like Almanjiri School. Why must we have Almanjiri School? We must also have Alubana School.
It was to encourage them to go to school.
The deficiency, did you investigate why you have an army of people who don't go to school? That's where you come for a scientist. That's where you come as a social scientist. That's where you should come from. Why do you have an army? Why are they not in another region? That's why there must be that regional effort by the leaders in the north to encourage the political leaders to do the needful. If you collect allocation for people to go to school, send them to school.
All right.
To build your economy. Build your economy. Do what is appropriate. So that if we don't do this, we won't come back tomorrow again to be discussing the thing. So thank you for having me.
Our time is up. Thank you. Thank you very much.